Welcome one, welcome all to the 2020 WillFoxification Movie Awards Show. Now we got an awesome show planned for you all tonight, but I'd like to start by thanking everyone that's taken the time to attend our award show this evening. We got some heavy hitters, some big names in the crowd, and we sold a lot of tickets, and it looks like we have a very robust crowd this year. So thank you again to all who took the time to attend our special event this evening. You truly will not be disappointed. It's a once-in-a-lifetime event that you'll probably tell your kids about. Either way, we'll be handing out awards to 13 deserving winners tonight in 13 categories as we recognize their accomplishments in filmmaking. So they should all be very excited and very honored, honestly. With that said, we're not going to waste any time. Let's go ahead and jump into our first category of the evening, Best Supporting Actress. Every year there are many actresses deserving of this award, and this year is truly no different. These actresses all brought incredible value to their respective films in their roles that wowed audiences across the world. The nominees for Best Supporting Actress are Ana de Armas, Knives Out; Florence Pugh, Little Women; Rebecca Ferguson, Dr. Sleep; Zhao Shuzhen, The Farewell; and Park So-dam, Parasite. And the wheel goes to... First award of the night, very exciting. Rebecca Ferguson, Dr. Sleep. Rebecca Ferguson played Rose the Hat in such a malevolent and confident way. Her performance was my favorite supporting performance of the year because I felt she stole every scene she was in. She was dark, she was formidable, and she was calculating in her villainy and desperation. She's well deserving of this award tonight. Alright, award number 2 of the night is for Best Supporting Actor. Best Supporting Actor is a category that's also stacked each year with a lot of deserving candidates. While the nominees this year are being recognized for very different types of roles, they were all exceptional in their craft. The nominees for Best Supporting Actor are Daniel Craig, Knives Out; Willem Dafoe, The Lighthouse; Tom Hanks, A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood; Al Pacino, The Irishman; and Bill Skarsgård, It Chapter 2. And the wheel goes to... Tom Hanks, A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. This was a tough decision, but I felt Tom Hanks was so good as Mr. Rogers that ultimately he deserved this award. He completely embodied the personality and look of Mr. Rogers in a way that was emotionally captivating from start to finish. Tom Hanks has played some truly marvelous characters, and this is one of his finest yet. The next category of the evening is Best Cinematography. Cinematography is important because it helps to tell a story through visuals and immersion. It can aid a story, but it can also direct a story when necessary. The art form that is cinematography is incredibly important to how we understand a story, and the films nominated tonight understand that as well as anyone. The nominees for Best Cinematography are The Farewell, Joker, Knives Out, Rocketman, and The Irishman. And the wheel goes to...
Alright, third award of the evening.
Joker. Joker did an excellent job at showcasing Arthur Fleck's descent into madness that feels increasingly unstable. The film shows his lifestyle, his environment, his grief and pain, and it does so in a way that feels as if we're experiencing it with him. The film is incredibly shot, and the cinematography plays a big role in how immersive the overall experience is. The next category is Best Music or Score. Music plays an important role in film because it makes us feel things. It either works in service of the story and its emotional beats, or it takes the lead and takes the audience on a musical adventure. The nominees for Best Music or Score are Frozen 2, Joker, Rocketman, Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker, and Us. And the wheel goes to...
Alright.
Rocketman. Rocketman was an awesome musical experience because it captured the tone and spirit of Elton John. There's several musical numbers throughout the film that pay homage to Elton John classics, and they also work well fitting within a narrative about Elton's career. I'm not a huge fan of musicals myself, but the music in Rocketman is a shining example of the profound effect music can have on a film. Next up is Best Visual Effects. Visual effects can either immerse you into a story and its environments, or it can do the opposite. These 5 nominees tonight delivered some truly remarkable visual effects that allowed for full immersion into fun and exciting adventures. The nominees for Best Visual Effects are Alita: Battle Angel, Avengers: Endgame, Godzilla: King of the Monsters, Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker, and The Lion King. And the wheel goes to... This is a big category, guys. Avengers: Endgame. Avengers: Endgame delivered amazing spectacle in the form of an 11-year payoff. The battles, the worlds, the characters, the powers, everything about this movie looks absolutely awesome and helps immerse you into this massive conflict that influences the fate of the universe. Marvel films almost always have great visual effects, and Endgame is right near the top of the list in that regard. The next award of the evening is Best Comedy Film. Comedies are important because they make us laugh and they provide enjoyable entertainment at the movie theater. While some of the nominees tonight are not pure comedy films, they do provide comedy frequently enough to provide viewers with some good laughs. With that said, let's take a look at the nominees for Best Comedy Film. The Farewell, Jumanji: The Next Level, Knives Out, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Shazam. And the will goes to Shazam! Shazam was a great film that was hilarious and also had a ton of heart. Zachary Levi and Jack Dylan Grazer helped deliver lots of good laughs as they figure out the superhero gig, and their experiments and struggles only get funnier as the film goes on. Shazam was a home run for DC and is the best comedy of 2019. Next up is Best Horror or Thriller Film. This year delivered us a handful of really awesome horror or thriller movies, and it's one of the best years I can remember for this category. I think both genres are starting to really improve in terms of quality, as quality directors with a vision are beginning to make modern horror or thriller stories. These films scare us, they make us feel uneasy, and when made like these 5 films, they captivate us in ways that make us grip our seats. The 5 nominees for Best Horror or Thriller Film are It Chapter 2, Midsummer, Ready or Not, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, and Us. And the will goes to It Chapter 2. It Chapter 2 was scarier than the first It film. It had a well-balanced story that mixed scares, comedy, and heart, and Pennywise was riveting to watch in all of his shenanigans. While It Chapter 2 was a slightly worse film than its predecessor, it was a very satisfying sequel that delivered the tension, scares, and emotion in all the right ways. It's the best horror film of 2019. Alright, now that we're past the halfway point of our award show, let's hear some ads so we can keep the lights on. Take a look. Do you ever find yourself wishing you had more money to party like this? Do you wish you had a better, more fulfilling life? If so, look no further than Sage Candy Rain's investment firm. We can invest your money intelligently in the unicorn stock market in ways that will double and even triple your investments. We constantly monitor trends that will make you as rich as a unicorn on a double rainbow. Do you want to make it rain like the highest flying of unicorns? You won't impress any unicorn honeys unless you start investing your money wisely with Sage Candy Rains and his 30 years of financial expertise. Call the number on the screen to schedule a consultation with Sage Candy Rains himself so you can start investing smarter and partying harder today.
Whoo, doggy, it's your main man Leroy, and I'm back with another fine product for all you WillFoxification fans out there. Today I'm here to introduce Leroy's Beefcake Protein Shake. Now this is a special recipe passed down from Leroy to Leroy that'll make you one hell of a beefcake in no time flat. Do you need to improve your weak little physique? You need Leroy's Beefcake Protein Shake. Do you need to attract your hottest cousin? You definitely need Leroy's Beefcake Protein Shake. Quit messing around now with all that other nonsense and get on down to Chicken Gristle Road now, you hear? Leroy's Beefcake Protein Shake will make you that dreamy beefcake the girls just cannot resist. Act now while supplies last. Leroy's Beefcake Protein Shake is not responsible for any health effects the product may cause.
Our next award is for Best Animated Film. In full transparency, I didn't see many animated films this year, but the ones I did see were pretty good for the most part. These films provided feelings of adventure, stories about family, and of course beautiful visuals. Animated films can be just as impactful as traditional films when executed properly. This was a good year for animation in many ways. The nominees for Best Animated Film are Frozen 2, How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World, Toy Story 4, The Lion King, and nothing else because I didn't see any other animated films in 2019. And the will goes to Toy Story 4. Toy Story 4 was everything I wanted it to be. It was emotional, the animation was awesome, it delivered satisfying continuations to our characters' journeys, and it provided a fitting conclusion to the end of the story, for now at least. Toy Story 4 is my favorite of the franchise, which is saying something, and it's the best animated film of 2019 and one of the best in the last several years. Our next award is for Best Fantasy, Action, or Sci-Fi Film. These 3 genres are primarily known for their excitement and their ability to transport you to a whole new world. Whether it be a new world altogether or an Earth that differs from our own due to the presence of superheroes or assassins or whatever the case may be, these genres have delivered us some exceptional films over the last decade, and 2019 was no different. The nominees for Best Fantasy, Action, or Sci-Fi Film are Avengers Endgame, John Wick Chapter 3, Parabellum, Shazam, Spider-Man Far From Home, and Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. And the wheel goes to...
Oh, drop it in. I can't withhold my excitement.
John Wick Chapter 3: Parabellum. John Wick 3 delivered the action, excitement, and sheer craziness the franchise is known for. The fights were crazy, they were new, they were exciting, and they were as high octane and awesome as ever. This is an action film that never lets up until you leave the theater, and boy is it satisfying. This is my favorite John Wick film and one of my favorite films of 2019. We're headed back into the individual awards now, and our next award of the evening is for Best Director. The director is the conductor of the orchestra. It's oftentimes his or her vision that guides the film to success or failure. These 5 directors nominated tonight guided their films to excellence, and their exceptionalism will be acknowledged tonight just because they deserve it. The nominees for Best Director are Noah Baumbach, Marriage Story; Marielle Heller, A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood; Todd Phillips, Joker; Ryan Johnson, Knives Out; and Martin Scorsese, The Irishman. And the wheel goes to... Noah Baumbach, Marriage Story. Noah Baumbach delivered an intimate, heartfelt, and captivating story about marriage and divorce with Marriage Story. The way he blocks the scenes and the way he puts his actors in winning positions was amazing. He makes the film feel as authentic and as realistic as possible, and he deserves serious credit for that. This category was stacked this year, but Noah Baumbach's work in Marriage Story stood slightly above the rest for me. So we've arrived at our final 3 awards for the evening. The next award is for Best Actress. These actresses led their film in remarkable ways, showcasing their acting talents in ways that solidified their greatness or established a strong presence in the industry for them. These 5 women all delivered outstanding performances, and I'm happy to acknowledge their work tonight. The 5 nominees for Best Actress are Awkwafina, The Farewell; Scarlett Johansson, Marriage Story; Lupita Nyong'o, Us; Daisy Ridley, Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker; and Saoirse Ronan, Little Women. And the wheel goes to... Scarlett Johansson, Marriage Story. Scarlett Johansson was the best I've ever seen her in this film. She's always been exceptional, but I rarely got to see her in purely dramatic roles like this. I loved her in Under the Skin, but Marriage Story showcased her abilities as an actress that much further, as she showcased the effects that a divorce can have on a person. This is one of the best performances I've ever seen, meaning Scarlett Johansson is well deserving of this award tonight. The next award of the evening is, you guessed it, Best Actor. There were many actors that were deserving of a nomination tonight, but these 5 stood out above the rest, each of them delivering career-changing performances that played a huge part in the excellence of their respective films. The 5 nominees for Best Actor are Leonardo DiCaprio, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood; Adam Driver, Marriage Story; Taron Egerton, Rocketman; Joaquin Phoenix, Joker; and Adam Sandler, Uncut Gems. And the wheel goes to... Wow, this is crazy, ladies and gentlemen. We have history in the making here. For the second time in the long-running 3-year history of the WillFoxification Movie Awards show, we have a tie. Our winners are Adam Driver for Marriage Story and Joaquin Phoenix for Joker. I just couldn't choose between these 2 because I believe both performances to be absolutely exceptional and 2 of the best performances I've ever seen. Adam Driver in Marriage Story hit so many of the right notes as he descended into deeper unhappiness due to his divorce. Joaquin Phoenix ascended deeper and deeper into madness as the Joker in the most captivating of ways. These are 2 of the best performances I've ever seen, and again, these 2 are very well deserving of this award tonight. We've arrived at our final award of the evening, Best Picture. Narrowing this category down to 10 nominees was difficult. 2019 was a great year for film, delivering us some great films that will prove to be classics of their genre over time. This is one of the best years for film that I can remember. That said, here are the nominees for Best Picture: A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, Avengers Endgame, The Farewell, Marriage Story, Joker, Knives Out, Shazam, The Irishman, John Wick Chapter 3: Parabellum, and Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. And the wheel goes to...
Alright guys, this is big. This is the award of the evening.
And wow, this is big. Marriage Story. Marriage Story is a masterpiece in my opinion. I've never been through a divorce, but this film made me feel like I have. It showed the complexities of a divorce and how it affects each party, how the legal system can actually create stress and a lack of human decency. This film is flawless in my opinion, and it's the best picture of 2019. Alright, so I want to thank each and every one of you that attended the 2020 WillFoxification Movie Award Show, either in person or virtually. It means a lot to me. Thank you all for your continued support, because this channel has been such a big part of my life for the last 3.5 years now. I mean, I love talking movies and movie replicas with you guys, and I can't wait for what the future holds. Make sure to let me know in the comments, and I'm sure you will, what you thought about my nominees and winners, and what winners you would pick for each category. But that's a wrap for the 2020 WillFoxification Movie Award Show. Thank you, and have a good night.